Tony Hinchcliffe is one of those edgelord comedians that thinks saying the most offensive shock jock shit possible automatically equals comedy. And look, roast comedy is supposed to be disrespectful. That's the whole point. But somewhere along the line, some comedians stopped trying to be clever and started trying to go viral off of outrage alone. During the roast of Kevin Hart, Tony Hinchdick had this to say.
He got into a fist fight on a private plane, proof that no matter how much money black people have, they're still just gonna act like ninjas. This fight. You've done good though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you right now. George Floyd is looking up at us all laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
That type of edgelord shit is becoming a cancer to comedy. And before the sensitive weirdos start crying, nobody is saying comedians can't joke about dark or uncomfortable topics. Comedy has always pushed boundaries. The problem starts when people notice a pattern. And with Tony, the pattern is obvious. Dance around saying the N-word, throwing some trans jokes, mock somebody who recently died, then sit back acting like you just reinvented comedy. It's the same recycled shock jock formula every single time.
Meathead, pay attention. You're saying the same shit that he said. I'ma fuck you up.
And this isn't even the first time. Back in 2014, Tony Hinchcliffe went to a Trump rally and did the exact same edgelord routine. The crazy part? The joke wasn't even original. Tony allegedly repeated a joke that had already been said by an amateur comedian at his own show, Kill Tony. Watch this.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's currently a 500-mile peninsula of trash in the Atlantic Ocean, and I used to live there. It's called Florida.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico. Wow!
Now after the backlash started exploding online, Kevin Hart pulled up to the Breakfast Club looking like a man trying to clean up a biohazard spill with a paper towel. And to Kevin's credit, he did admit the joke wasn't tasteful. But at the same time, Kevin basically hit everybody with the, hey, don't look at me, I didn't say it.
Yeah, the George Floyd joke, it wasn't a tasteful joke to our culture, to our audience.
Do you feel like Tony Hinchcliffe went too far when he made that joke about George Floyd?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
I don't expect less, I don't expect more.
I don't like when people joke about violent, tragic death. I like Pete said, and I was like, oh, yeah, why you have to say about
Pete had a great set too. Pete had a Charlie Kirk joke.
Yeah.
Did you see the interview that I did with Terrence Floyd, George Floyd's brother?
No.
So he said...
No shot to you.
No, that's
I'm never watching it.
That's fine.
I just want to be clear, I'm never watching it.
I only brought it up.
Even now that you told me, I'm not going to go back and go look at that interview. I'll say it again. Stop talking as if I said it.
Just want to know you can.
I don't fucking need to prove to people that I give a fuck. No, I don't.
This is time.
No. If you open that door, then that's the door that people expect. Why the fuck do I need to do that?
I think it's because of how much the George Floyd situation affected so many people. I think with certain things...
not say it.
And honestly, that's where this whole thing gets interesting. Because Kevin Hart is trying to walk this weird tightrope the entertainment industry loves walking nowadays. They want the controversy, they want the viral clips, they want the edgy, nothing is off limits energy. But once the backlash comes, suddenly everybody starts acting like they were innocent bystanders standing near the explosion. And what Kevin Hart said on the Breakfast Club kind of proved the bigger issue with modern comedy. A lot of these comedians don't want to be remembered as clever anymore. They want to be remembered as the guy that was brave enough to say the craziest shit in the room. That's not comedy, that's shock addiction. And the worst part, the internet rewards it. Because now comedians aren't competing to be the funniest person on stage. They're competing to trend on Twitter for 48 hours. And if you thought Tony was gonna take a second to reflect after all the backlash, nah. Tony did what every edgelord comedian always does when the heat starts coming their way. He doubled down. Instead of reading the room or even attempting to understand why people were upset, Tony basically responded with that smug, you're all too sensitive energy that comedians hide behind whenever a joke bombs harder than they expected. And somehow, he made the situation even worse. Because at a certain point, it stops looking like fearless comedy. It starts looking like somebody desperately trying to protect an image. The I say what nobody else will say character.
Kevin Hart was something else, huh? It's the first time I've been called a Nazi multiple times in just a few hours. You know what I mean? I got called a Nazi, gay, a racist over and over again. I'm none of those three things, a little fun fact. But they are they are fat, ugly, black, and Jewish. Everything I said was real about them, just a reminder.
And this is the problem with modern comedy. A lot of these guys built their entire identity around being offensive. So the moment people criticize them, they panic. Because if shock value is all your comedy is built on, what happens when people stop being shocked? And maybe that's the real problem with modern comedy. A lot of these comedians don't want to be remembered for being smart, timeless, or even genuinely funny. They want to be remembered for surviving backlash. That's why every controversy nowadays feels manufactured. Say the most offensive thing possible, wait for social media to explode, then hide behind it was just a joke once people react. And the sad part is, real comedy used to expose uncomfortable truths about society.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks. It's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table to figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Now, a lot of this edgelord's comedy feels like people exposing how desperate they are for attention. Because there's a difference between a comedian making a dark joke that actually has layers to it and somebody saying shocking shit just for clips to circulate on Twitter for 2 days. One takes intelligence, the other takes desperation. And honestly, the internet helped create this monster. Because now outrage is the marketing strategy. The more offended people get, the more views go up. The more clips spread, the more everybody pretends controversy automatically equals greatness. But all this really did was lower the standard for comedy itself. Now everybody wants to be dangerous, but barely anybody wants to be clever anymore. And maybe that's why so much modern comedy feels empty. Not because comedians are too offensive, but because too many of them forgot that being offensive was never supposed to replace being funny.